Factor 3 for how quickly she'll hit the wall is her mindset and her outlook on life. This, again, to me is a big factor on how quickly she'll hit the wall. Not only with her attitude, but also in the way it can age her. Is she a positive or a negative thinker? Okay, if she's a really negative person, that is her body will just not age as well. She's going to be more uptight. She's going to be more, everything's going to be more tense. She's going to have more of a frown on her face. That frown's going to wear into her wrinkles, and she's just going to look more unpleasant as she ages. But also remember, when this wall hits, and it will hit, then you're stuck with this negative thinker. So if you're around this woman that just has this negative attitude, that to me just knocks. That adds years to how quickly she's going to hit the wall, in my own opinion. Because if someone's negative in its own right, it's draining. But just imagine that after she also loses all the looks and she keeps this entitled mindset, and then she has this negativity. Ooh, oh man. Yeah, this is good. This is good advice for you guys, for people to hear, especially younger guys. I could have been retired or working part-time by now if I hadn't gotten married. I feel like if a woman's over 24 years old and she considers herself a feminist, to me, it's like she already smashed into the wall.
I just need a little more time.
A great, great wall.
You're a man. You don't get the comments about me. My body, my choice. My body, my choice.
It cannot be stopped. The wall cannot be stopped. If a woman considers herself a feminist, just understand that her mentality will be that of a victim. The victim mentality in everything. Everything she does is going to be the guy in her life's fault, the patriarchy's fault, your fault. That feminist attitude is going to turn her against you. Feminist is so opposite of feminine. Feminist to me is a complete contradiction of feminine. So a feminine woman is attractive, is pleasant, is wonderful. A feminist is like her wanting to be masculine. That to me, when a girl says she's a feminist, it's like she's masculine. Now think of that. If she embodies this masculine mindset, what you are going to see is sooner rather than later, what she's going to do is she's going to start cutting her hair shorter like a man. Masculine. You're going to get that short buzzed hair look. That to me, again, I'm not attracted to that. But just think about that. When she embodies masculine characteristics, her whole, everything about her will become more masculine as she ages. Shorter hair, stern look, stern attitude. So if a girl considers herself a feminist, I believe she will hit the wall faster than a feminine woman completely. And another thing too, because again, feminine's like long hair. That's like that long feminine hair, which I love, long feminine hair. And again, the feminist is not going to, she's not going to embody that. I very rarely ever see a feminist woman that has this nice long hair. Eventually, she cuts it. Okay. Here's another part to think of, another factor that will age her is how often does she gossip about people? This all factors into the mindset, the outlook on life. Again, negativity is not going to do well for your body. Everything about, like, even just think about your immune system. If you're like fearful, you're stressed out, your immune system's not going to work as well. Just everything with your body will not work as well, will not function as well if you're in a negative train of thought. And if a woman is prone to gossiping all the time, always pointing at other people, talking about them, all that stuff, there's going to be negativity that's brought into that. And it's not going to age her as well. And that's what you're going to have to be stuck with. Again, these flaws in her character that will be all you're left with when that wall hits. There's not going to be a lot more that attracts you to her when her looks and all that stuff and her fertility goes, and you'll be stuck with stuff like this. And also, if she's all into gossiping about people, just imagine too, if anything goes wrong with you and her, the relationship, a divorce, just imagine how good she's been her whole life at talking about other people. Just imagine how she's going to turn everything against you with all people in your and her life. Gossiping girl, that to me is a big red flag. It'll age her body and it will definitely age her mentality and mindset. Here's another thing to think about. Her mindset, outlook on life. Where does she get her news and current events from? Where is she feeding her energy into things? Again, if she's all about the mainstream media and that's all she lives or dies by, she's never going to know the truth about a lot of things. Diet plans will, all this disinformation will be coming at her. I also think about this too. If she's one of those girls that listens to the Call Her Daddy podcast, if she's one of those women that frequent feminist blogs, female dating strategies, Reddit, where she's getting her information from is it going to be how she shows up. And so this is a factor that you got to be aware of, because like I do when I do those like posts on female dating strategies and I just break them down. It's like when a girl gets her source material from certain sources, if that's a poisonous source, that is going to seep into her. That's going to be the mindset that she possesses. And that's going to be, again, what you're living with. So I factor this part in too. I kind of figure out, where are they getting their sources from? Where are they feeding into? Because whatever comes out from that source is going to be what she embodies. When she reads an article from Feminist, super feminist blog 101 or whatever, and it talks about how, hey, you should not cook for your husband type thing, right? If that's the article that comes out and she reads it and that's what she buys into, guess what? Guess what she's going to bring home to you? And this is going to change her attitude, which again, when a woman goes from feminine and sweet to masculine and hard, that changes our perception of her. It just is not attractive. So again, that's going to speed up her wall process. Nice, Nathan. This is funny. And again, I always say this, guys, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but what I will say now is what I love to do is I get, if a girl hates Trump, I got a couple Trump hats and some Trump t-shirts and stuff like that. I just seduce her, and then before we're getting it on, when she's all caught in the moment, I'm like, we're only going to go farther if you put on this hat. And I make her wear my Trump hat, or I make her wear one of my Trump shirts. That's how I roll with it. But yeah, best practice, like I say on first dates, is stay away from politics. I just do this after they're bought in. Once I know that, it's like, once I know I have them, then I just can do whatever I want. But yeah, it's smart to not bring stuff up like that early on. And here's one last part of this part, her mindset, her outlook on life. Has she gotten any of the big A's previously, the big abortions? Now, again, think about what men are attracted to. Youth and fertility. Now, I am not a scientist. I don't know this for sure, but it seems to me from things I've read and, that women that have had abortions, one, they're just, the fertility is intact. I'll say it that way. It can mess with future fertility if she's gotten abortions or multiple abortions. The other thing is, and again, I cannot prove this, but I can only imagine, when you mess with nature, if nature got her pregnant, she got pregnant, and then she decides to take care of that. Again, I have no proof of this, but to me, that has got to mess with your psyche. I mean, I just don't. It has to mess with your psyche. And a lot of women will say, I'm proud of my abortion, all that. Like, they can pump it up and trick themselves all they want. But I guarantee you that messes with her psyche in some way. And again, so to me, if a girl's had one before or multiple before, to me, that's like a big red flag that will age that process of the youth and fertility. I believe that will age the process of the wall. Again, no scientific articles on that one. That's just my own thing, but to me, it seems to make sense. So that's something that I take into account as well. Yeah, I agree with you, Chad Hart. I think it jacks up her mind, more mental issues. I mean, it just makes sense, right? I mean, if that's what in her biology she's able to do, and she has this child growing, all that in there, and then, I mean, I just think that's a factor to be wary of. I think it's meme time now. I think it's meme time. This factor 3. All right, her mindset and outlook can age the wall. Let's show you some examples. All right, you guys know who Nelly Furtado is. She's a singer. I can't think of songs off the top of my head, but I know multiple. Promiscuous Girl, I believe that was one that she sang. I remember Nelly and Nelly Furtado did like a song together and stuff. But anyway, 2006, this was her. Nice. Looking good. 2019, this is her. Now, again, this is what I'm talking about with her mindset. This third factor, what you're going to see a lot of times is it might not be the weight thing, but what you will see is the demeanor change. She'll have more of a hardened face, a more masculine face, and notice the hair. Notice the hair. Again, when they embody masculine principles, they want to be equal, they want to be just like men. Guess what you're left with? This is what you're going to see. You're going to be left with more of a man. Oh, Pocket Full of Sunshine. Nice. Yes, you're right. All right, here's another one. And I'm not convinced. I've seen some videos behind the scenes. And I've gone down rabbit holes, guys. So I understand that this one could have just been a rabbit hole that wasn't Triton Crew. But I'm not convinced that this is a woman anyway. But Rachel Maddow. You guys know Mr. CNN, Miss CNN, whatever. Again, I don't know completely, but I've seen some videos that dug in and done some facial structure and bone structure and all that. And I'm not convinced totally. But anyway, look at this longer hair. And now look at Rachel Maddow. Just this angry person just spewing. Watch her channel and see if she says anything positive ever. Nope. And again, that she's this like total like feminist ideology. And notice what, again, look at this hair. Look, it looks like my hair. I look like Rachel Maddow. That freaks me out, guys. That freaks me out. Look at that hair. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a dude. I mean, again, guys, I haven't taken a peek in the trousers, but I'm not convinced that this is a female. Looks like my 28-year-old stepson. Oh, all right. Here's another one, guys. Another one we ain't know. Look at that. Before Trump 2016. Looking pretty good for how old she was there. After 2020. The wrinkles, the stress, the anger is going to get to her face. Now, some people also might say lack of adrenochrome. Not many of you will know what I'm talking about there, but some of you might. You might know why there's a lot of celebrities that seemingly hit the wall at a really fast pace all of a sudden. But also the attitude she has is just like angry, all that. And you just see that harden, the wrinkles and all that stuff. And, I got two more for this one. Yeah, you see these ones a lot with hitting the wall, especially with celebrities. Yeah, look at this one, man. Katherine Heigl. I think that's how you say your last name. She says, I wonder what I'll look like when I hit the wall. And then it goes smash. And look now. And look at the difference, man. When she came out with 27 dresses, I used to tell everyone she was my celebrity crush. In that movie, 27 dresses. Again, that was like more of her in her prime or about, pre-wall. But look at, and she had that longer hair, and just notice the shorter hair. She's just the more of the masculine characteristics. And here's another thing, guys, that I haven't been married, but I've observed this a lot, and I've talked to a lot of men, is that a lot of times too, after a woman has a child, her number one priority again becomes the kids, typically, at least in your relationship. Again, the kid comes first, which I have no problem with that, and that makes sense. And I think we want, good mothers. But what will happen though is that's part of the wall process too, is that you kind of get on the back burner. She doesn't care as much to look good for you and all that. And that's just something that you're going to run into. And that's why, again, I say, if you had any thoughts of settling down or committing to a woman, then you got to see a million great personality characteristics, because when the wall hits, that's what you're going to be left with for years and years and years and years on end. And here's the last one that I have for number 3 here. Rose McGowan. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Isn't that amazing how much different she looks with hair and no hair? I mean, if you look at the rest, a lot of it looks pretty similar, the rest of her face. But the difference between long hair and no hair, and this is what that feminist ideology will do. It will create a masculinized woman, which again the man will become more feminine. And then because of that, the woman will become even more angry at the man. And then she'll feel like she has to do everything. She'll take on more of the burden, the masculine role. She'll cut her hair short because she feels more masculine. She feels like the man. And this is what you're left with. Again, look at this. If she had long hair, if you just put that hair over there, I'd be like, oh, wow, she did a pretty good job not hitting the wall. Because look, it looks very similar. I mean, obviously there's makeup and all that. But that mindset, factor 3, man, this is what you're going to be left with. See this a lot. Again, it goes back to a few webinars ago when I mentioned if you look at women, the women that cut their hair short, you can basically already tell that she runs the show. She wears the pants in the relationship. There was this new teacher that we had one year. She was a long-term substitute, and she was probably, I think she was 55 or 60 years old. And I'm not kidding you, 55 or 60. And she looked really, really good. Obviously, she aged a little bit. You could see some wrinkles and all that. She probably looked phenomenal in her peak. But she had this really beautiful long hair, and I would hang out with her. We would get together for drinks and stuff, and I would hang out with her and her husband and some of the other teachers. And she was still so feminine and sweet and submissive to her husband that everything about her was just so attractive for like a 60-year-old woman. But she still had this long, nice, and she was feminine, and she had those sweet qualities. She still carried that on. To me, I was really impressed, and I think she did a wonderful job. It's just you don't find women like that very often anymore. Like, that was super rare for me to find. Again, that's why it sticks out in my head. But again, that long hair and that feminine demeanor go a long way in aging the wall. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.